What's happening, everybody? It's that time of the week again where I bring you the latest science and innovation marvels in Namibia. Today I bring you brilliant minds. I bring you a countdown of the latest innovations in STEM, and I also bring you a tech review. My name is Aina Raizakaya and this is your favorite show, Novelty. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and let me entertain you. Class is in session. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and bask. Take in the knowledge. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by brilliant young Namibian minds who are going to represent our beautiful country at the first global challenge, which is a STEM challenge. We'll talk about that later on during the show. My name is Aina Raizakaya, and hi guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, how are you? I'm doing good.
I'm doing good. Fantastic. Please introduce yourselves.
Okay. Hi, my name is Hein de Villiers. I am currently 15 years old, and on the team that I am part of for Team Namibia, I manage all things social media.
Hello everyone, my name is Robert Dishena. I am currently 16 years old and I am one of the two team programmers.
Okay, let's talk about the first global challenge. Tell us when it's happening and why you particularly decided to be involved in it.
So the first global challenge is in the beginning of October. If I'm not mistaken, it's round about the 7th to the 10th of October. It's basically this big, if you were to put it that way, this very, very big robotics competition where a lot of the countries, practically every country in the world, are basically not competing, but rather going against, if we were to put it that way, going against each other in terms of challenges related to robotics. We have to build a robot, and that robot has to follow certain guidelines so that the whole challenge can be fair. This year, it is taking place in Singapore.
The theme for this year's challenge is green hydrogen, which is a newly discovered renewable energy, which is currently in the implementation phase in our country. For this year's challenge, the aim of the robot is to pick up two different sized balls. One of them will be blue, which will be named hydrogen, and the other one, which is smaller, which will be named oxygen, and separate them into two different compartments and shoot them into their respective cases.
So how did you then decide to be involved, in this first global challenge? Was a selection process? How are you, the two of you and other members, going to represent Namibia?
Robert and I are 2 out of 5 members of the team that will be representing Namibia in the challenge. Basically, how we found out about it in the first place is they came to our respective schools. Out of all 5 of us, there are 3 different schools. I am in Windhoek High. Robert and 2 other members as well are part of Jan Moore, and another member is part of DHBS. They came to our respective schools and just told us about the challenge itself and robotics and all of that, and took our information for whether or not we're interested. And then we started with classes where they introduced us to the basics of the mechanical part of robotics as well as the programming, and basically just helped us prepare for the challenge itself. And then from then on, we were selected for the final 5. So all 5 of us are the finals that will be representing the country.
Okay, Robert, can you walk us through, the process of making a robot? Like, what is the process? How do you start? Do you first have to sketch something? What happens?
First of all, you need to think about what your robot is meant to do. And from there, you have to make flowcharts and pseudocodes. Then, you take your flowcharts and pseudocodes and convert them into code language using onboard Java. And you have to fix a lot of errors in those codes, because usually as you convert them, you will experience a lot of errors during those coding processes. Then you also need to make sure that the robot you're building, it has proper dimensions and all the parts are where they are supposed to be.
That looks like a long and tedious process.
It is. It is.
All right, when did your love for science first began? Were you always a scientist at heart as a child, or it's something that you studied, it's something that you are growing into?
From my side, I always really liked science. I had this really big interest for it. I remember when I was younger, I used to enjoy watching CBeebies. There was this one program on it called Nina and the Neutrons. It was my favorite. It was my favorite show to watch of all time. So I think that really I just found it very interesting. So I think that fit very much into my appreciation of science. I really do love it. It's really an amazing thing. Specifically, if we were to talk specifically, I'm in love with chemistry and biology. It's my all-time favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you?
Ever since I was born, I've always had a passion for astrology, scientific discovery, and just anything in general that I had to use my mind to think about.
Okay.
I would always be in trouble for conducting scientific experiments at home with a lot of household appliances, killing animals and stuff like that. So it's really
It's something that you're passionate about.
yes,
yeah.
robotics has a very special place in my heart because it goes along with my whole idea of scientific discovery.
Okay. Now that we're talking about scientific discoveries, what would you guys want to be when, as a career, what are you going to be as a professional young career person?
So for me personally, with my love for science, one thing that I also really fell in love with was the psychology. I feel psychology is a very underappreciated part of STEM. Not a lot of people talk about it. I want to specialize with psychology. I want to specialize in the forensic field. So it does have some of its involvements with biology and all of that. So with that, that's what I want to pursue in the future. That's what I want to become. And with robotics itself, robotics is more of how can I explain? It's more of it's more of a
Part-time.
hobby. Robotics is more of a part-time, per se, a hobby. But if things go sideways and it leads to me having to pursue a career in robotics, you will hear absolutely no complaints from me at all whatsoever, because that's just how much I love robotics as well.
Okay.
For me, I haven't yet made a decisive choice, but I know it's either going to be a biochemist, chemical scientist, or marine biology, or anything else related to those topics.
Okay, fantastic. Finally, you guys, as we've mentioned earlier, you're going to represent Namibia on an international scale. What are your hopes and what are you looking forward to at the challenge? What do you hope to achieve firstly with representing Namibia? And then secondly, what would you love for yourself when in a foreign country? What are you looking forward to?
Personally, I am not, besides the challenge itself, I'm also very looking forward to the tourism aspect, the tourism part of the challenge itself, because we are given permission to do that, because Singapore is really beautiful country. Besides that, with the challenge itself, last year we did place 7th out of as an overall, and this year I hope that, because it is, don't get me wrong, it is a very high position, but the sky's the limit. So maybe this year we could go for 5th, 3rd, and even possibly first place.
Yeah.
You never know. So that's my biggest expectations, or not expectations, but rather hopes for this challenge.
Just to add on what Heinz said, coming first place isn't the aim of the entire thing. The entire aim of this endeavor is to grow yourself as a person and also to express your country on an international level.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us on Novelty.
You're welcome.
It has been a pleasure, and I wish you all the best in this global endeavor, and I know that you will represent us so brilliantly.
Hi, my name is Azor, and I'll be counting down some of my favorite new STEM innovations. First of all, we'll be talking about artificial intelligence. Wow, wow, wow. Where do I start about artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence doesn't only make workflow so much easier, but it makes it so much faster. And the cool thing about it is that it's artificial intelligence. You basically teach it and it basically learns about what you like. For example, if I have a problem, even for example with my schoolwork, I'm just there like, okay, Mr. ChatGPT, I need you to help me with X, Y, and Z. And what I want from X, Y, and Z is X, Y, and Z. So artificial intelligence is very cool once you get the hang of it, of course, because to most people it's kind of scary, like, oh no, it's going to take away our jobs, it's going to make me homeless. But like, if you learn to adapt to the direction that the world is moving into, I'm sure that you can capitalize on not only AI but any innovation that is brought up. My next cool STEM innovation is automated vehicles. Automated vehicles is pretty handy. It's very different from artificial intelligence. So basically automated cars are like autopilot for planes, for aeroplanes. So that's when the pilot, maybe, I'm not really sure of the nitty gritty of how autopilot works, but my idea of autopilot is basically if the pilot is traveling long journeys, sometimes 20 hours, I don't know a human being that can stand up for more than 20 hours straight, just awake. So autopilot comes in handy so basically the plane knows, okay, we're gonna keep our thrust at a minimum of, let's say, 60%. And so the plane is just gonna continue doing that for about, let's say, 30 minutes, and then the pilot will come back in and he will take over. So automated vehicles is really the future, because not only will it help you when you have long drives, but let's say if you want to multitask, which could be dangerous, but I'm sure there is a safety cap around it. So Apple recently came up with the Apple Vision Pro. So they came up with a new level of biometrics, and this one is more towards iris. So I feel like this is very, very amazing, because someone could easily just take your finger, let's say you're sleeping, they want to unlock your phone, they take your finger, they put it on the phone, and then it's unlocked. But now with iris, it's very, very much more secure, because your eyes, you are the only person with such an eye pattern, the way your iris looks, your retina, all of that, the way your pupils dilate and all of that. So that is basically, it's a new level of security that is brought up, way better than the biometrics that we have right now with fingerprints. Some people use, there's also tongue, but I don't think we're going to get into that. But right now, I really, really find iris scanners very cool, and moving forward, it will be very good for security purposes. That was me, Azor, counting down my favorite new STEM innovations. I am from Genius Robotics, and I am also one of the mentors for Team Namibia 2023.
Introducing Apple Vision Pro. With Vision Pro, you're no longer limited by a display. Vision Pro feels familiar, yet it's entirely new. You can see, hear, and interact with digital content just like it's in your physical space. And you control Vision Pro using the most natural and intuitive tools, your eyes, hands, and voice. Your surroundings become an infinite canvas. Use your apps anywhere and make them any size you want.
You can receive a 3D object in Messages, pull it out, and look at it from every angle. And it's easy to interact with the world around you. So with Apple Vision Pro, you can create your perfect setup, your to-do list in Notes, research your next trip in Safari, and discuss plans with friends in Messages, all while listening to your favorite playlist in Apple Music.
You can play your favorite Apple Arcade games, like NBA 2K23 on a screen as large as you want, with incredible audio and game controller support. There will be over 100 arcade titles available for you to play on day one.
Apple Vision Pro is the result of decades of our collective experience designing high-performance products like Mac, mobile products like iPhone, and wearable products like Apple Watch. To achieve our goals of performance, mobility, and wearability, we utilized the most advanced, lightest weight materials possible. We created a rich combination of soft, textile parts, ensuring the audio pods remain close to your ears. They deliver rich, spatial audio while keeping you aware of your surroundings. Easy-to-reach adjustment dial helps you secure the device comfortably. For those who wear glasses, we teamed up with Zeiss to create custom optical inserts that magnetically attach to the lenses. They accommodate a huge without compromising display performance or eye-tracking accuracy. Vision Pro supports all-day use when plugged in and up to external high-performance battery. A separate battery means that you don't wear that way. So that's the design of Vision Pro, our first ever wearable spatial computer, an incredibly capable and powerful tool that blends digital content with your world.
So in the same way that Mac introduced us to personal computing and iPhone introduced us to mobile computing, Apple Vision Pro will introduce us to spatial computing. This marks the beginning of a journey that will bring a new dimension to powerful personal technology. There are certain products that shift the way we look at technology and the role it plays in our lives. We believe Apple Vision Pro is a revolutionary product with the performance, immersion, and capability that only Apple can deliver. Apple Vision Pro, together with Vision OS, introduces an entirely new spatial computing platform. A platform that presents incredible possibilities for our users and exciting new opportunities for our developers.
Before delving into game development, Totaleni Ilonga had been studying for 2 years to become a boilermaker and welder. He then made a choice to explore a potential business venture which has now become known as EduGame. EduGame targets enthusiast students, corporates that wish to gamify their own products. Ilonga says the business exists to highlight game development in Namibia as a main focus, which makes them pioneers in the industry in Namibia. By merging education with gaming, the business has a unique identity. Additionally, children get to experience different skill sets, boosting growth and courage. Ilonga's business potential for growth and its potential benefits for Namibians have been boosted since his selection as one of the Sanlam Bridge winners for 2023. He described his experience so far as helpful, fun, exciting, all at once. The moment he found out he was one of the Sanlam Bridge winners was the moment for gratitude for him. Ilonga says he plans on utilizing the benefits he received as one of Sanlam Bridge winners to improve the business further. He would like to create a website, create a platform where people can access online education and offer workshops to students outside of Namibia to benefit from the service of EduGame. In our next inspiring story, Girl Up Namibia, a youth empowerment organization, successfully hosted a transformative STEM event that brought together more than 60 enthusiastic high school and university students across Windhoek. The event, in partnership with SOS Children's Village, held on the 12th of August on Saturday at NAST, aimed to ignite a passion for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics among young minds. The event themed Namibian STEM Stars, igniting innovation and empowering youth, provided an interactive platform for students to engage with STEM luminaries, participate in hands-on activities, and explore a boundless opportunity within STEM fields. We are thrilled to see such a remarkable turnout of young individuals eager to embrace the world of STEM, said Fabianus Ihemba, one of the organizers. This event This event exemplified our commitment to nurturing curiosity, fostering creativity, and empowering the next generation of STEM leaders. Throughout the day, attendees had the opportunity to interact with accomplished speakers who shared their personal journeys and insight in various STEM disciplines. The event was enriched with practical workshops, empowering discussions, and captivating demonstrations, providing a holistic experience for the participants from Minds in Action.
The task is to go from here to here, stop here for 3 seconds, wait for 3 seconds, move to this and to the step.
Okay, let's see if that works.
The Namibia Oil and Gas Conference was officially launched at the head office of NIPDB. Featuring as EAN's annual conference, the Namibia Oil and Gas Conference is organized by Economic Association of Namibia, Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board, and the Hans Sidel Foundation in Namibia. The event is supported by the Ministry of Mines and Energy and has the Namibia Petroleum Corporation NAMCO as a strategic partner, which is scheduled to take place on the 16th to the 17th of August 2023. The primary objective of the conference is to create a platform for a large-scale public consultation, bringing together key stakeholders from industry experts, policymakers, civil society to discuss and explore opportunities, challenges, and advancement in Namibia's oil and gas sector. The conference aimed to foster collaborations, knowledge sharing, and investments in the country's emerging oil and gas industry. The main difference which sets this event apart is how the barriers of civil society, academia, students, and local business participation have been removed and or lowered significantly. Let's have a look.
1978 and actively promoting democracy, rule of law, good governance, development, etc., etc. And we've been a long-standing partner of the Economic Association of Namibia and many other civil society organizations, including IPPR, including LSC, including the Namibia Institute for Democracy, NID, and so we've been an active partner of civil society for many, many, many years. And we see it as our mandate to support civil society and the role civil society has to play as a watchdog, like you, like the media, like a sort of engager for public discussions and to contribute to the development of a nation. And that also includes tough discussions, like also the one on oil and gas. There will be many people who will ask the question, but why do we need oil and gas? We want to move away from fossil fuels, but at the same time, this is a massive opportunity for Namibia, for the Namibian people, for the country to develop, and nobody has the right to actually put that in question. Namibia should and must have a right to develop, and our job, our mandate here is to do this, to support this process, and to assist in providing platforms, in assisting our project partners that dialogue can happen and also difficult questions can be tackled. And one of them is to me, yes, the world wants to move away from fossil fuels, but the reality is we're not going to do this tomorrow. This will take us a long time to get there. In the meantime, we'll be using fossil fuels. And here we see it as our role to support the process to make sure that it is beneficial for all Namibians, that it is the most environmental friendly possible, that there's a conducive environment, there's a good legislative framework, etc., etc. So at the end of the day, my personal vision, or my hope would be for Namibia, that Namibia would one day become the Norway of Africa, where if you look at the Norwegian case, every Norwegian owns in the, what's it called, the Sovereign Wealth Fund, has a stake of $200,000 in that fund. So it's a really...
That's all the time we had for you this week. I'm pretty sure and I hope that you took away something from this episode that you're going to use to empower yourself and others in the future. My name is Aina Raizakaya. Until next time, all my love, all my light.